It's been a very difficult week for the royal family, and who better to give us a rundown on it than Angela Levin, royal biographer. Angela Levin. Well, I mean, I heard you on Michelle Dewberry's show yesterday talking about the news.
And I was crying.
Yeah, you were.
I couldn't stop. I just thought that she was the most remarkable woman. I'm going to start crying.
She is the most remarkable.
Because when she had this terrible news that she's got cancer and is now talking to us, she's talking about everybody else, really, just a little bit about herself. She's talking about she wanted to wait so that each child she could talk to so that they would understand it in their own way. And there's a big difference between a little boy who's 5, as Louis, and George, who is 10, and Charlotte, who seems extremely intelligent. So she wanted to do that. And she said at the end, you know, people who have it, that you are not alone. And, you know, don't feel too bad. You are not alone. And I thought, here's this woman who's the very opposite of a me type of person and wants to help everyone else, even though she herself is in a very difficult position. And I thought, you know, she's 42. She's been beautiful. She's been very athletic, and she's been a marvellous princess, not put a foot wrong as everybody says about her. And yet she had this dreadful decision of what to do about her own person, that whether she should say, whether she should speak it, whether she should fight back to all the people who'd been so cruel, or what. And very bravely, she decided to speak on her own. She hadn't liked making speeches. Her and Camilla don't like making speeches. It's quite understandable why. It's very, very difficult. People handpick all the sorts of things. But actually wanted to do that by herself, all alone, and say that. But also be very positive. You know, I feel well, I'm going to get better, but I have to look after myself. I realise that too. In other words, you know, she's somebody who doesn't put herself first. She put herself way down because she wants everyone else to be happy and fulfilled. And all her work with young children, because she knows that affects the whole of their lives, if you can get them reading, if you get them in a good family. And this, she put in this speech that she made. You know, it's enough to make anybody cry, actually. It was just amazing. And then you think she managed, of course, to get something in about her husband, Prince William. And I thought that was lovely too, that he's standing by. None of these nonsenses about him having affairs or he couldn't like her anymore.
That was rubbish.
It's cruel,
absolutely rubbish.
Cruel. And you think about him and what a difficult time he's had. You know, he lost his queen, his grandmother, his grandfather, his mother when he was very young, and now he's got the worry of his wife, who's done so much for him. She's made him understand what being a husband is like, because he came from a place where there wasn't a proper marital relationship, and very, very difficult for him. And yet, when he went out to do the engagements he had and he wanted to go to, you would never have known. No. So you think, there is a man who would be a good king because he knows what is expected of him. And I just thought it was very moving, and that we're very, very lucky to have them. And I hope that the cancer has been found very early. It could very well be like that, and that she will make a full recovery, because we really need her. She's essential.
We need them. We need those two. We really do.
Yes.
And, of course, Harry and Meghan sent a message.
It was a bland message, wasn't it?
Well,
I also thought that they shouldn't have just called her Kate and the family. I've noticed that they never called anything like, you know, Her Majesty, or, you know, the Princess. They don't want to do that.
Well, I think we'll take Meghan more seriously when she goes to see her father. That's the first thing. I mean, if you're going to say this, then go and see your own dad who's sick.
Oh, she won't do that.
No, she won't. No, not that I see. But what about Queen Camilla? Because she's had to step up, hasn't she?
Yes, well, it's very interesting about Queen Camilla, because everybody said she would ruin, 30 years ago when they all hated her, that she would ruin the whole monarchy, and thought she was absolutely appalling because she wasn't fit to be a queen. But she's actually proven very differently. She's actually holding up the royal family together, and she's gone away. She doesn't like being in the footlights. I know that, she told me, but she's gone very gently to do what she thinks is very important, and Ireland is very important to her and to King Charles. So she went on her own. She just did very few that Charles would have done by himself, and she went and visited lots of people. And because she's very warm, they really respond very well to her. And I remember she went a few years ago when things were quite difficult, and she had this big lunch, they called it, to celebrate one of the Queen's birthdays. And she sat there, and people didn't like her at first, and then said afterwards that they were astonished that she was so easy to talk to. She was so ungrand. But now she seems very regal, but very gently, and she looks as if she's having a lovely time. And I think this will help King Charles, because he can see that she's doing a brilliant time, and she's working incredibly hard. She's 76, 77.
Oh, no, aren't they working well, the two of them and
Yes.
the family?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. One nice thing we need to just say, it's Princess Eugenie's birthday today. She's 32. She's very happy with the family. She's a very easy person to get along with, so we can all wish her very happy returns.
Happy birthday to you, Princess Eugenie. And Angela Levin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is the brilliant Angela Levin, royal biographer.